Unbelievable. Yeah, I think so. See, now they're running in this direction. Okay, they have a strategy. Go ahead. Yeah, copy that. Yeah. Yeah, perfect. Go ahead. 25 more minutes. See, this is where they should go to us to show from the air what's actually happening with all the angles. They always forget about us after a while, and this is where we could actually help. I can never figure it out. Trying to move this over. Come on, move over. There it goes. Wait, come a little to the right again. Thank you. You just move slightly, just like ever so slightly. I'm just trying to look down Broadway and 4th if I can, in case they do decide to go to us. You're perfect in here, if this works for you. I think I lost the lineup again. Actually, it's not that bad. See, this is where, like, I get why they use this in the beginning, but when you have an overhead of everything dispersing, it's perfect, and they're just not thinking about it. I don't get it. I don't understand. And these people are still in the construction zone. Get out. Yeah, that is absolutely what you are seeing that is being left behind here. So once they get control of this crowd, which they are clearly starting to get the upper hand of the situation here, they still have to deal with a massive cleanup effort because this paint was being thrown at people and what you would like to think is garbage down below, and some of it is, but a lot of it is actually paint as well. And it amazes me that even as the crowd thins out, there are still people sitting on the top of that roof there and inside that broken into construction site. But as our crews on the ground have been showing us, we really want to show you from a bird's eye view because it really does tell a story here. You can almost see the police strategy unfolding here. We're going to bring up Street Spotter 7 for you. Obviously, the crowd has dispersed significantly. Are we out of the woods yet? No, there are still a lot of people here. But what we want to do is show you, it seems like police started, once they started to get the upper hands on the numbers, they started to cordon off. So they forced people down Broadway. We saw people running. They were actually being chased by officers who have now set up their perimeter right here at 14th Street, or rather 13th Street and Broadway. Now they did the same thing as you come north along Union Square. What they've done is set up right around here so that you can't get past them once you've moved out. And even though the crowds have dispersed, the police are staying in those lines, trying to keep people that have moved out of Union Square Park to stay out of Union Square Park. So it seems like Union Square Park itself, the crowd has thinned significantly. Here at 4th and 14th, this is where the biggest crowd is. But again, you see police here making sure that they don't come back towards Union Square Park. And we do want to show you this as well because this is something we were showing you all along. Right around here is where all of those cars were stuck with people standing on them. Those have now been cleared out, so significantly less people here. And again, those police officers I talked about, there is a line there, and they are saying, you are absolutely not coming back into Union Square Park. And then a little bit further north, up by 15th Street, you're going to see more police doing the same thing. So they're making sure that people don't come back once they exit out, but they still have a significant crowd here, nowhere near the thousands that we saw before, but still a significant crowd. And as you mentioned, the cleanup after this is going to be immense with all of this paint that is now splattered along the south side of Union Square Park. nowhere. Okay, don't panic me. See, I think now we've got more police than... Yeah. Yeah, they're like, we're done now. You can't escape quickly when you're up so high. Fuel update is what you're looking for, probably about 15 more minutes. 15 more minutes. Oh! Oh, did you see that? He did. Yes, 15 more minutes. Yeah, I think we can run out the fuel. We'll have enough time to get back. Yeah. Wow. Well, that's just perfect. That's amazing. Whee. Or days, because Tuesday was bad. Copy that. Let me just see where I'm at. Yeah. No, back, not forward. Definitely not forward. I'm going to go into gimbal lock. You came south and you came west. And did you find it? You have to come norther because I'm dangerously close to gimbal lock. A little bit, yeah. They certainly have at this point. You can almost feel them breathing a sigh of relief at this point. We're going to bring up Street Spotter 7 so you can follow along with us and kind of give you the rundown of what's happening here. But you were looking down right here at Union Square West and 14th Street, and that is where Josh is, and he's been talking about the police forming a line there. And you can actually see the line of police officers, and what they're basically doing is as they push people out, they're forming a barricade and saying, absolutely no one else is getting back in. In the last few minutes, we saw them decide to take those barricades a little bit further north off of 14th Street, as we've been saying, from the ground, and they brought those barricades into the park itself, and you can see them now set up here. And as the police came forward, the crowds literally ran to the north, and that is what we've been seeing them do. But what they've been doing is trying that strategy from several different directions. You can obviously see that the roof now of the subway station is completely clear, and as you've mentioned, the subway service is now reopened. So a night and day situation where there were thousands of people, maybe now hundreds, and they're staggered throughout Union Square West. Some of them went down Broadway as well as 4th Avenue, but even 4th Avenue, this was the intersection just about 10 minutes ago that was completely packed with people still. That has cleared out significantly as well. So the police, the strategy they seem to be using right now is to pick a crowd of people and force them in one direction or another. What we've been seeing is them taking people down Broadway and then setting up at 13th Street, making sure they don't go back. We just watched them do it at 14th and 4th, and we're watching them do it right here at Union Square and 14th Street. The last move that they just made was to come into Union Square, and they forced the people to go north, what was left of the people. So significantly smaller crowds that they were trying to corral and push away, and then set up a barrier to make sure that no one got back. And that is the point that we are at now. You see these barricades of police officers all over the place. They are now significantly outnumbering the crowds, and here you see them moving these barricades again. So they're going to strategic points where they feel that they need to be and making sure people don't get back in. So the beginning of the end of this ordeal, it might be exactly what you are looking at now, but police certainly looking like they have the upper hand on this crowd control situation. And we've been talking about Kai Cenat himself. We watched him go away in a car early on in this. I mean, he was only here for maybe 15 or 20 minutes, and look at all the chaos that ensued. But again, it appears at least that police are getting the upper hand. Reporting it live over Union Square. Yeah. Yeah, it really does, except for the fact that it is sort of a mess. I mean, you can see the mess that people left behind, and unfortunately, and this is the part that's really disturbing, is yes, you see the things that people were throwing around. I don't know if you can see it. Construction cones were being thrown. There were buckets that are used, for cleaning supplies, but there were buckets of paint as well, and that's what you're seeing down here. You see this blue paint off of the gazebo covering the train station there, and you can see white paint all over the place. So people were throwing whatever they could get their hands on, and we described it really as a mob scene. And part of the problem there was it was such a mob scene. When things were being thrown, you didn't even see them coming at you. People were getting hit in the back of the head, and then they started turning some of that stuff on to the police officers, who at one point, and I think you showed pictures of this, were using just a plank of wood to cover themselves and then hiding behind the cars that were stuck in this mayhem. And I think the worst picture of it all was right in this area here, which is now quiet and now has a police barricade up. You saw the cars that were stuck there 6 deep, that literally were teeming with people climbing on top of those cars. And now it almost looks like any other day with a little bit more of a police presence and a small-ish crowd compared to what we had seen before. A lot of trash. Okay, so they want us back at 6. I'm thinking the same thing. I would say we have maybe 4 minutes left, but I would think going now would make sense, right? Newscapter 7 to the news desk. All right, so we can leave now and go for fuel to pad it a little bit, or we can wait until 15, your call. Copy that, no rush. I'm just worried everyone's going to be getting fuel at the same time. Not really. All right, copy that. Let's go get fuel.